Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for staying with us for the full day and a half. We're a slightly smaller group than we were around lunchtime, but still very substantial. An absolutely wonderful day and a half. Lots of new material, lots of insights, but also a lot of challenge. And I think it's our responsibility to take away all of that and to begin to process it and to build for the future. And that includes the challenge as well. When we were preparing for our last Lenten campaign a number of months ago, one of the things I learned is that the carbon footprint of the average Irish person is the same as the carbon footprint of 88 people in Ethiopia. So that is in itself absolutely shocking, but at the same time, it is the scale of the call to action which faces us as a nation. If you do the maths on that, and if you multiply our population by, say, 90 million Ethiopians, I'm still not sure that I can believe this, but it means that we as a nation have the same carbon footprint as about 400 million of the poorest people on this planet. And we as a nation, I think, cannot allow that to happen. We cannot allow it to continue. And we had a number of politicians here yesterday. I think we have at most maybe 2 politicians here this afternoon, but that is the challenge that faces us. Whether our politicians become heroes or not, but certainly we cannot continue to allow our politicians, our nation, to believe that that is acceptable in this day and age, because quite simply it is not. On the positive side, we are part of a vast global movement. Things are beginning to tip in our direction. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever about that. When Nelson Mandela died, Barack Obama, in talking about his life, his work, his commitment, and his contribution, said of him that he bent the arc of the moral universe towards justice. That's a beautiful phrase, but I think it encapsulates so well everything about Nelson Mandela, his struggle, and what he achieved. And I think that our struggle and what we have to do now is to take up that challenge, and our job is to bend the arc of the moral universe towards climate justice. Because without a doubt, this is the greatest challenge facing any of us. And that includes the war in Syria, human rights abuses, development, poverty. Each one of those is compounded by climate and climate change. So that is our great task in the future, and we as an organisation in Trocaire are committed to taking that up and to continuing that struggle. But, as I said yesterday, and I think it has been confirmed by everything that I've heard over the last day and a half, time is not on our side. We have to get cracking on this. And that brings me to the 3 of us as institutions, Trocaire, St. Patrick's College, Maynooth, and Maynooth University. We are committed to continuing what we have started here. We're not quite sure precisely what that is as yet, but Philip and Hugh and I have agreed to meet around mid-July to review all of this and to continue the conversation and to see where we can take it next. One thing that we know is that there are more than 10,000 students on this campus for about 8 or 9 months every year. And when you add in all of the people who work here, that's probably another 2,000. So that is a huge population. And that population of people has networks right throughout the length and breadth of this country. So if we could even, to add to our list of things, to mobilize the student population and the staff population of this campus, that in itself would be a huge contribution. So finally, on behalf of Trocaire, I would like to thank my colleagues, Hugh Connolly and Philip Nolan, for agreeing to this and for committing to it and for all of the support and encouragement which they have provided. I'd like to thank my own colleagues for all of the work and effort that went into this conference. I'm just going to pick out two people and then, in general, thank everybody. There's somebody down here that I'd like to pick out and ask her to stand up, and that's Ciara Kiran. So, working on a very part-time basis over the last year or so, Ciara has absolutely put all of this together, and it would not have happened without all of Ciara's efforts. So thank you so much for that, Ciara. The second person that I want to thank is my colleague, Head of Policy and Advocacy in Trocaire, Lorna Gold, who from after that lunch that Hugh and Philip and I had, Lorna took that and decided, I'm going to make this work, and I'm going to make this a significant and an important event, and you've certainly succeeded in that, Lorna, so thank you very much. So that's it. Finally, I would just like to thank you all for your contribution, for being here with us, and as I say, we are part of a global movement, and it is getting bigger, it is getting more powerful, and in the end, we will prevail, and I have absolutely no doubt about that. Our speakers, who have come from many different backgrounds, many different parts of the world to be with us, to provide us with their insights, their understanding, their encouragement. I would like to thank you all most sincerely. Thank you.